Alright, well hello, I am Jog, and welcome to this small little bonus episode of Fire Emblem Three Houses. For this little bonus episode, we're going to be talking about the certification for the Mastery class. So, for Mastery class, there's a lot of options. However, while the guides and the goals share a lot of the same, there are just, I believe, 2 classes that are specific, one to each class. So let's talk about the unique classes. For the guys, they can be that of a War Master. A Master of the Axe in hand-to-hand combat, the War Master pulverizes enemies with massive strength. So requiring both the Axe and the Brawling skill, essentially combining those two together. Giving them fixed Fist Flare, Axe Flare, and Crit plus 20. Which honestly sounds like very good if you're going that with the Fist, considering you can attack between like 2 to 4 times. And with a plus 20 to your crit, that sounds very freaking useful. So, the War Master, for leveling up, gets a 40 to their health, a 15 to their strength, 10 to their speed, and 5 to their charm. Their magic, dex, luck, defense, and resistance are no change. Now, let's look at the goals, because the unique class only available to the women is that of the Falcon Knight, requiring swords, lances, and flying. Riding aloft, this knight is weak to arrows with high defense against magic. This class can move again after taking certain actions, requiring sword, lances, and flying skills. Giving them Canto, so the ability to attack and then move, Lance Flare, which, yeah, they're going to be using lances most likely, and Evasion. So the Falcon Knight is a plus 30 to the health, plus 10 to strength, plus 20 to speed, plus 5 to resistance, and plus 10 to charm. These all being the increasing to their percentages for leveling up. I don't know if I need to say that, as I feel like I might have said that back when we did the beginning starter classes, but it's never a bad idea to at least make sure that that information is out there. Alright, hitting the wrong button there. Moving on. The Wyvern Lord, belonging to everybody. An experienced Wyvern handler with high stats, but a weakness to bows and magic. This class can move again after taking certain actions. Kinda like the Falcon Knight, but I want to say dealing with axes. So if the Falcon was sword and lances, yeah, the Wyvern is axe and lances. So having Canto, Axe Flare, and Evasion. Again, kinda like the Falcon Knight. The difference being that Falcon Knights, again being female only, usually have higher resistance compared to the Wyvern, which I want to say usually has higher defense, but you still have to watch out. Flying units are very weak to arrows. The Wyvern Lord is 30 to health, 15 to strength instead of 10, like the Falcon Knights, but that comes with a minus 5 to their magic. A 10 to their speed compared to the 20 of the Falcon. They get 5 defense instead of 5 resistance, and only a 5 to their charm. Next up is the Mortal Servant. A master who casts powerful magic and yields a sword with confidence and poise. The Mortal Servant is a force to be reckoned with, using swords and reasoning. As such, they get both Sword Flare and Black Tom Flare, so essentially using the 2 stills that they were trying to get. The Mortal Servant is a 20 to the health, a 10 to strength, 10 to magic, but at the cost of a minus 10 to their speed. They do get that back with a 10 to luck and a 5 to charm. A Great Knight. The heavily armored Great Knight has high defenses while retaining mobility. This class can move again after taking certain actions, requiring axe skills, heavy armor, and riding. They're blessed with Canto, Lance Flare, and Axe Flare. The Great Knight gets a 30 to their health, a 10 to their strength. However, that heavy armor comes at a disadvantage of minus 10 to their speed. They do, however, get 5 to the defense with a negative 5 to resistance, and 5 to charm. So their main thing is that they're likely to get a lot of health and defense, which, well, better chance of getting defense, at the cost of their speed and their resistance. So keep that in mind. The Bow Knight, a graceful archer mounted upon a mighty steed. This class can move again after taking certain actions, requiring lances, bows, and riding. They have Canto, Bow Flare, and bow range plus 2. Just remember, the further away the archer is from his target, the less accurate he is. But being able to strike an enemy from far away is always good. Combine that with a longbow for the extra range. The Bow Knight is a 10 to their health, but a -5 to their speed and a 5 to charm. So they're not going to get anything that's going to help them get strength, magic, dex, luck, defense, or resistance. They're mostly there to do hit-and-run tactics more than anything else. The Dark Knight. A mysterious knight versed in black magic. This class can move again after taking actions. Certain actions. Lances, reasoning, and riding. Given a Black Tom Fair and Dark Tom Fair. So Dark Magic versus Black Magic. I don't know why these are different, but it is for whatever reason. And Kanto. So the Dark Knight is a 10 to health, a 5 to strength, 10 to magic, but a -5 to speed, 5 to defense, 5 to defense and 10 to resistance, and a 5 to charm. So this is a little bit more... I wouldn't say it's for a magic user that one wants to try and get the speed of being on a horse, and maybe get some lance skills just so they can actually fight using lances, but honestly I wouldn't worry too much about that. If anything, I would just stick with the magic, especially considering you don't get any strength, any benefit or increases to your strength by becoming a Dark Knight. However, the opposite of a Dark Knight is that of a Holy Knight. A Blessed Knight versed in white magic. This class can move again after taking certain actions, requiring Lance, Faith, and Riding instead of Lance, Reason, and Riding. So they get Kanto, White Tome Fair, and Terrain Resistance. The Holy Knight is also compared to... the Holy Knight compared to the Dark Knight is they both have a 10 in health. The Dark Knight gets a 5 in strength, the Holy Knight gets nothing. But both get a 10 in magic. They both suffer a -5 in speed. However, the Holy Knight will get 10 to luck compared to the Dark Knight's nothing. Both will get 5 to their defense, both will get 10 to resistance, and the Holy Knight will get 10 to charm compared to 5 of the Dark Knight. So again, Dark Knight seems a little bit more suited to physical alongside magic, while the Holy Knight seems a lot closer to magic, but that makes sense because usually white magic is more healing based compared to that of the Reasoning's dark magic or, well, the black magic. Okay, I wasn't entirely sure if it was that. Okay, moving on, the last class we got is that of the Grimoire. An expert in all forms of magic, the Grimoire casts asunder any enemy with high physical defense, requiring both reason and faith. They get black magic ×2, dark magic ×2, and white magic ×2, meaning that every spell that they got can be used twice as many times. The Grimoire gets only a 10 to their health. They also get a 10 to their magic, a 10 to their dex, a 5 to their resistance, and 10 to charm. And that would be all the classes. Again, though, I want to say that whatchamacallit, House Leader all get unique class upgrades as well. So Dimitri here has the class of High Lord, giving him a 20 to his HP, a 5 to strength, a 5 to dex, a 5 to defense, and a 10 to charm. Alright, so this will be a little bit of a spoiler. So if you don't care about that, then you can stop the video now, because there's nothing else we're going to be talking about for this bonus episode. But later down the line, Dimitri here will get himself a unique class upgrade, essentially evolving from that of a High Lord to that of a Great Lord. This won't come until a little bit later on, but just to let you know. His 20 in HP becomes a 30, his 5 in strength becomes a 10, his dex goes from 5 to 10, his defense stays a 5, and his charm stays at a 10. Now it'll be later down the line, and it'll be an upgrade in the Mastery category. So it'll be up to you to decide whether or not you actually want to give him that, especially considering the fact that I always had him on horseback, being, well, a paladin and cavalier, and now he's a High Lord walking at his own 2 feet. So making him maybe a different class, like maybe that of a Dark Knight, may not be... Honestly, I feel like this might be more fitting for him, based around everything, but to each their own. Otherwise, that's all I got to talk about for the Mastery class right now. Well then, other than trying my hand at trying to actually master one of these classes, so... use the exam seal to have Felix take the Mortal 7 certification class.
Easy.